So we've just had so much going on with Big Brother. I had to like, okay, because now I'm a little upset. The Amazing Race.
Episode 7. Still
Let's
in
just
France.
talk about.
Okay,
Let's
let's
just
get
talk.
it out of the way. Let's get it out of the way right off the bat. Non-elimination leg, which is already a bummer. Who came in last?
What do you think, guys? It was actually very close. It was actually very close. But
Between Lulu and Lala and Arun and Natalia.
Yeah, who do you think came in last?
Once again, Arun and Natalia, the gods have looked down upon them and have blessed them with another non-elimination leg. This is their third chance this time. They've had the opportunity to come back into the race.
I guess I guess I'm just annoyed because it's literally like the same as last season, and I thought that was kind
worse.
Of like,
it's just it's worse every time.
I also thought last season was like, it was more of a like, wow, I can't believe like, I haven't seen Amazing Race enough to know if this is like normal, but it doesn't seem like it.
It just seems like so many non-elimination legs, and I'm like, it kills the whole episode now, because now, like, obviously we're watching it right now, but if you were to rewatch it, now you're like, okay, well, this is a non-elimination leg, who cares?
Pointless. Yeah. It was interesting to see some teams work together though. And it's, once again, I do not hate Arun and Natalia by any means, but at this point,
it was the circumstances.
You're out, and it was like, nope, 9 lives. Fuck.
It's just, it sucks. I more so hate the producers that keep pulling these non-eliminations instead of Arun and Natalia, because if I were Arun and Natalia, I'd be like, shit, I fucked up 3 times, and 3 times I got to stay in the race. Like, there's not much you can be upset about.
Now I need to go get a freaking lotto ticket because my luck is good. Like, shit. It's crazy.
So, okay, going into this race.
We'll just talk about
Kim and Penn came in first with Raquel and Kayla as well.
Oh.
So they were on the first flight, or like the first group or whatever. And then Ryan and Dusty, Arun and Natalia, Lulu and Lala on the next one. Back in France. We're staying in France, and thank you for the person who corrected us. I was like, oh, we're going to Greece. They're like, it's in France still. So thank you. Note taken. Anyway.
Out of the country like that. So he doesn't know. Okay. Let it go.
Okay. So we start with the big teaser, which was the maggot cheese, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
They only had to have a bite on a piece of bread. Like, it was a thick amount of cheese, but like, I thought they're going to have to try to eat like the whole thing or something crazy. That's what it made it look.
I think
no one even threw up. Lame.
Yeah, there was like some gagging, because like they'd be like, are these like moving? And he's like, yeah, they jump around in your stomach. And they're like, anyway.
I would have been like, can you shut the fuck
up? So Kim and Penn and Raquel and Kayla start first, and they are Raquel and Kayla end up passing Kim and Penn once they get the first clue, which is about the cheese. They get there first.
It helped both teams get directions because he took French in high school or whatever, so he could communicate.
As they're driving to the first location, Raquel and Kayla end up finding the turn first, which kind of irritates Kim and Penn in the term of like, not like they're upset. It's just like, well, the team I helped with directions is now ahead of us. That's great.
The last thing you want. It's the first thing they want, the last thing you want. Like, obviously. Come on. It's still a race. Only one.
So Kim and Penn end up missing the turn. Raquel and Kayla get to the cheese. They just have to take like a slice of cheese on top of bread and eat it. That's really it.
I mean, it's pretty, but it's
pretty
not
gross, but like,
it's definitely doable.
All due respect to other cultures and food, it's maggots in cheese. Like, let's just, it's not easy for Americans to just down
But-
that like it's Cheez-It or something. So then after that, Kim and Penn end up finding the location. All the other teams start to filter in. Lulu and Lala next. Ryan and Dusty, and then Arun and Natalia.
Yeah, Ryan and
then-
Dusty passed Lala though.
Before the cheese?
Right after the cheese. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So then after this is the detour, which is either row, row, row your boat or gently
Down
the
the
So with row, row, row your boat, you have to get into like a little like kayaky type boat thing.
Yeah. Clear one. It's
Yeah,
still kayak.
it looked like a plastic boat almost.
Plastic.
They had to then go and collect 10 fish of the same pattern. But in the other one, you were in like a boat submarine hybrid, and you had to like match the pattern that you saw. Both of them
like
were difficult.
Yeah, they're both difficult.
If you were doing,
I think the submarine one's a little harder, and the only reason it wasn't harder was because they were all worked, each group of 4 worked together.
yeah,
So
it was Raquel and Kayla and Kim and Penn. No.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, Kim and Penn, Raquel and Kayla, and then the other group was Arun and Natalia and Lulu and Lala, and then Ryan and Dusty
were the only ones that did the.
And they toppled over a little bit.
Yeah.
And we got tricked again into thinking they were really struggling. I mean, they were.
It was just like a minor inconvenience, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think with the submarine, it is also more difficult because you're not as hands-on with it. It's more just like viewing. And they were saying right off the bat, like, it's hard to see. And like, you can't be like, hey, drive closer, like stop for a second. Like it's, you know, if you miss it, then you miss it. Whereas with Ryan and Dusty's detour, they were able to, you know, it's like a physical thing more, like of collecting the fish, which they've been killing the physical, you know, competitions on their end. So
they've been doing, again, they came back even with a little bit of adversity. So, and starting like at the end.
So then for the gently down the stream, once they get back from the, I think it's like a 15-minute cruise, they have to match the sequence exactly as they saw it underwater.
And if they get wrong, they have to go do the whole cruise again just to try.
That's 15 minutes that you're doing nothing again. So
it's bad. And the first group, Kim and Penn go first and they get it right. So then Kayla and Raquel, they all were working together. So then they got it right after. But Arun and Natalia and Lulu and Lala got it wrong the first time. But the second time they got it, they all got it right. But they took another extra 15 minutes. I think that's really how Ryan and Dusty got in front of some people. You know, kind of caught up. I feel like it had
to. Once Ryan and Dusty complete their detour, they head to the roadblock, and then the roadblock, everyone else starts filtering into. With the roadblock, they have like this net. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, so it's like a fishing net. And then there's a spot that's like broken and you have to fix it by tying a couple knots a certain way. And it was like tough for most of the people. They were like, at first they weren't sure where the broken part was. That took some people a minute to find. And then a couple of people had to keep rewatching the guy do the knots and was like getting it wrong. It tripped up most of the people a little bit. Like no one was like done.
Penn was able to finish first.
He still took second. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
Yeah, this was one that everyone was like struggling with.
It was a little bit of an equal, I feel like.
Once that happens, Kim and Penn end up, you know, bolting to the pit stop and they get first.
Pretty close once again. Kayla and Raquel were not like, they were a cup behind them, like what, like maybe 3 minutes behind them based on what it looked like.
I mean, they were still on like the thing when they ran up, right? Or did they already leave? Like Kim and Penn were still on like the mat.
Yeah.
Which means
they were still there.
that's when it's close, because
That's
they're in the
true,
middle of filming for Kim and Penn.
It's true that they have improved. Like they continue to improve.
Absolutely. They become one of the top teams now.
Out of nowhere, out of like the last 2 legs, literally. Like it's crazy. So liking them, I like them a little more in this episode, to be honest. I was like, okay, I like it.
And they're not evil or vindictive in like any sort of sense. None of the teams are. Everyone's super like helpful, which is kind of,
we got rid of toxic real early and then recently.
Make your own assumptions with that, but
if you know, you know.
Ryan ends up finishing the roadblock for the team, and then they end up running off to the pit stop. They get third. Then
it's like a real foot race.
Very close again.
So close. Lulu, Lala, and Arun and Natalia. And Arun and Natalia are 5th, right? It's 5th, yeah. And Phil's like, well, you're not going to get lucky again, but it's a non-elimination. Like the way he said it was weird. I was like, yeah, they got lucky again. And they're like, we have 9 lives. And Natalia's like, we're just going to keep, just like getting lucky and doing what we do. And Arun's like, we're not always going to get lucky, Natalia. She's like, I know, but it's not like we're not trying. And he's like, we need to do better. And she's like, well, duh. They had a little moment at the end. I was kind of like, Arun is just like, fuck, we got to get it together. Like he takes it so.
I would have found it more like, I would have found it more sentimental if I wasn't annoyed at the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't, but it was kind of funny.
I do like all these teams. Every time I watch an episode, I'm just looking forward to the reunion episodes of, them meeting up, because I really like all the chemistry that all the teams have. They're all super genuine, nice people that are just here to compete and make great television. Still hoping Kim and Penn get first. If not, Ryan and Dusty.
Yep.
This is the Will and James and Hung and Chi, Riley and Madison all over again.
Yep.
And even Raquel and Kayla at this point, I'm like, they've proven that they could easily win first.
I love this show.
So it's just so much more consistent than Big Brother or The Challenge, where like, you're going to get a good episode of Amazing Race, even if you're not like happy. I would still take this episode of Amazing Race over the entirety of the last season of The Challenge.
No shade, all tea.
All the shade. I do not like the most recent seasons of The Challenge have just been the biggest disappointments.
Not all stars.
Not all stars. The regular season of The Challenge. Double agents and spies, lies, and allies.
I think you're just getting too much Josh. It's triggering you. You have PTSD.
Don't bring Josh back anymore. Please
don't.
He's
coming back. Oh, he's gonna be like, he's gonna be kind of like Anissa, I feel like he's gonna be a forever, never win. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be mean. No shade. All tea. I just like.
Anyway, you can look forward to, whatever we're covering. Pretty soon we're gonna be wrapping up both Amazing Race and Celebrity Big Brother at the end of February, which means that we'll be starting Survivor, which will be exciting. Now that we've seen a season,
regular BB again and All Stars, and you just need to like, comment, share, subscribe, because shit be happening. Okay.